Look, it makes me creepy looking. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Well, look, I gotta tell. Let's see, I'm gonna record a bedtime story for my wife because she needs to go to sleep. She's over here. So I'm gonna tell a bedtime story. The story we're gonna tell tonight. And if anybody wants to share this with their little kids, they might not want to let them see the video because it's dark and scary. I don't want to scare people. I just want them to be all happy. So it's a bedtime story. The story is Jack and the Beanstalk. And this is the story. Nobody knows this whole story because everybody's heard pieces of the story. They don't know the whole story.
Oh, yeah?
This is the real true story of Jack and the Beanstalk, made up by me as we go because I have no idea what I'm going to say. This is how I tell my bedtime stories. I have a lot of bedtime stories. We could do a lot of them. Anyway, Jack and the Beanstalk. You can start the video right here because you just edit out all the other stuff because it's not important. Okay. So Jack, he was this little boy. He was a nice little boy. Actually, he was older. Maybe I don't know how old he was, but he liked getting in trouble sometimes. But he
really?
yeah, he was. Oh, they were poor. They didn't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
He used to gamble a lot. He probably had some gambling debts. I don't know.
As a kid, what was he gambling with?
I don't know. He probably played marbles. he probably played marbles or something. I don't know what he did. But anyway, they were broke and they didn't have much food. And they had a cow. The cow's name was Bessie.
Oh, really?
I think later Bessie might have burned down the city of Chicago by kicking over a lamp, but I'm not sure.
Oh, my.
Because that's after he sold it, because it happened before. But anyway, so they had this cow, and the cow used to give a lot of milk and stuff, but the cow didn't give much milk anymore because the cow was outside one day, and it saw a snake in the grass, and it scared the snake really bad, and the cow jumped really high, and it kind of went all the way over the moon. There's another story about that, but that's not in this story. It's the same cow. It's the same cow. But it's yeah. So so he went to take Bessie the cow to the market.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he was supposed to sell it for money so they could buy food. I don't know why they just didn't eat the cow. Cause probably anyway.
We'd have to kill it first.
No, they don't kill it. There's animal cruelty. We don't do animal cruelty. This is a cow that jumped over the moon. You can't eat that cow. It holds an Olympic world record.
So what are they supposed to do?
Well, he had to take it to the farmer that could take it to Chicago because
farmer in the Dell.
There might have been a farmer in the Dell. Oh, I've never thought about that. I wonder if the farmer in the Dell lived in Chicago.
I don't know.
He probably did. Anyway, so they went. So he was walking down the trail and going to the Dell to sell his cow to the farmer. No, the Dell is probably where the evil guy lived. Oh, he was evil. He was not a good guy. I think he was a thief, and he went and he stole some beans. I think he stole some beans from Aladdin or something, and he didn't know what they were. He just thought they were regular beans, but he didn't want to eat them because that's a whole nother story. But he had these beans, and he saw this, and he saw Jack coming down with his cow, and he thought. And he told Jack, he says, where are you going with that cow? And he thought, I got to go sell it to the farmer down in the Dell. I think he's going to take it to Chicago. But but you got to get back to the story because this is really important.
Listening.
Well, the guy, he says, hey, that's an old cow. Look how old and run down the cow is. And it doesn't give milk anymore. And he says, I'd like to take the cow to a carnival because see if we can scare it with another snake to get it to jump over the moon. It never jumped over the moon again. It only happened one time. But so he said, I've got these magic beans. And he didn't know that they really actually were magic because he stole them from Aladdin. but he just thought they were just regular beans. And so they were probably worth a lot of money. Wow, I think the thief got ripped off. He could, if he would have just known. But anyway, he tricked Jack into getting the magic beans because he told him they were magic beans. They might have had one of them that was one of those little Mexican jumping beans that when you put them on the ground, they sit there and click and wiggle and stuff like that. I've seen those. I've seen those beans. I used to have some. It's actually a little bug that's trapped inside of the bean that can't get out. But anyway, so Jack traded the cow for this magic beans, and he went home. He was so proud and excited. He said, "Mommy, look, I got the magic beans for that old cow." I don't think the cow could jump over the moon again. It was too old. So anyway, his mom, she wasn't really happy about the beans, and she went to go thinking about cooking them, and she's like, "I can't cook them. What good is it?" I think there were 7 of them. There might have been 9.
I have no clue.
I think there was only 7. I think it was 7 beans. And the mom was really she wasn't happy with Jack, and she took the magic beans that she didn't know was magic. If she would have known they were magic, she'd have probably kept them. I don't know what she would have done with them. It might have been bad if she ate them. She might have, I don't know. That might have been a whole nother story. She could have turned into like a fairy princess or something.
Yeah.
She could have, but I don't know. She threw them out the window.
Yeah.
She threw them out and they landed in this little teeny hole that a worm had just dug. And it fell down in the hole. The worm tried to push it out and it couldn't push it out of the way because the worm couldn't push out a bean. It's like when you get a bean stuck in. Well, that's another story. But anyway, but the beans, they started to grow. And you know how beans like to climb up things? Well, because there was all 7 of these beans, they all fell down the same wormhole. I don't know why all the beans fell in the same wormhole, but they did. But anyway, they started growing and they started getting tangled up on it and they started growing up each other. And these beans, they grew really, really fast. And by morning, they grew into the great big huge giant beanstalk that went clear up in the sky. Well, Jack, I think he was nimble or something. He might have jumped over a candlestick in the middle of the night when he was on his way to the bathroom. I think they probably made a whole other story about him. He had lots of he had incontinence issues or something, and but he had to go to the bathroom a lot. He'd go to the bath. He'd jump over the candlestick on his way to the bathroom. He'd jump over the candlestick on the way back from the bathroom. He even went up a hill one time to get a pail of water, but he fell down.
He was on an adventure.
He was a nice kid, but this time his adventure, he thought, because he climbed a hill one time, he thought, I'm going to climb up this beanstalk and see if I can see where that thief took my cow. And so he climbed up. He took a pair of binoculars with him, and he went up. And he was looking at something that was really, really, really far away. And then he realized he was just holding his binoculars backwards and it was actually kind of close. But he got up to the... No, but he did. He climbed all the way up. He climbed all the way up to the cloud. And I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but I've seen it in the cartoons. There's a lot of truth in cartoons they don't tell you about.
It's like Facebook?
It's like Facebook. There's a lot of things on Facebook that are true, but Facebook.
If it's on Facebook, it must be true.
It is. Just trust me. All that stuff is really actually true. Yeah, but anyway, we just gotta get away from Facebook because Facebook has a whole other. We don't want. No, it's. If we talk about Facebook, there's probably. Yeah, just don't go there. Anyway, it's a different Facebook. Some people think Facebook is real life, but it's actually made believe in fairy tales. That's why you can't believe anything on Facebook. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. We kind of talk. It's Jack. He climbed up, but anyway. See, there's all these facts you don't know. There, have you ever been outside in a rainstorm and see all that rain that's falling down and stuff like that? Well, that's actually somebody mopping the floors up there, and they're spilling the water off of the floor because the clouds are actually just a floor of houses.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, you can't see up in it because you can't see through them because there's houses. They're magic houses. Oh, excuse me. There's magic houses, and they just kind of float around up there, and there's people living in them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's these little things. They have these maids. I think their name is Marion, but they have these maids up there.
Marion maid.
Yeah, Maid Marian. You've heard about Maid Marian before. Yeah, she's a maid that comes up there and works in the cloud houses.
The cloud houses?
Yeah, and when they say put your head in the cloud, get your head out of the clouds, they're just talking about the people who live up there. But the people they live up there in the clouds, and they're really nice. They're really nice people and stuff. And you see all the little flocks of geese. They're flying in the V's and stuff. They actually have a tow rope and they're towing the clouds around. I've seen them. I saw. Yeah, I saw it. It has to be true because I saw it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so he goes up there and he gets on this. He finds out there's a floor and you can walk on the cloud. It's really solid because it holds up all that water. They're a lot solider than people think.
That's it.
Yeah, and so he was walking around there. Well, there was this duck. No, it was a geese. It was one of the geese that was flying in the V. It was a geese, and it couldn't fly in the V anymore, and that's why the geese were towing it around because they have to tow it around because the geese couldn't fly anymore because the geese was too heavy to fly because that silly goose.
Why?
Oh, it ate something. What was
it? Lay a golden egg.
Well, yeah, it laid the golden eggs because it ate something bad. I think it's goldenrod. Isn't that a flower? I don't know, but it ate this stuff and it made its eggs and were gold. And if you cracked it open and ate it, it would have to be sunny side up. But they couldn't eat them because these were solid. They didn't have yolks in the middle. The yolk was, it's actually the yolk that was, the egg was just goldish in colors, but when you cracked it open, the yolk itself was gold.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, when you cracked it open.
My goodness.
They learned about it when they were throwing eggs at somebody and it hit them and it kind of left a big lump because it was solid. But anyway, that's a different thing. So anyway, so Jack was looking at this egg. Oh no.
What happened?
I don't know. I saw recording something. Oh, well, I think it's still recording.
I think it is.
Okay. But anyway, so Jack, he saw this thing, and he thought this. He got this egg, and he thought, wow, this is really cool with this egg. And then all of a sudden, he hears this big ogre thing. It says fee, fi, fo, fum. It's a big. It's a giant person. I think his name was Goliath. And he came running out.
Yeah?
He came walking out, and he was all stomping around. He was kind of mad because some little kid named David hit him in the head with a rock, and he wasn't really happy. And so he, but that's another story too. Some people thought that Goliath died. He didn't. He just went back up into his house in the clouds. But anyway, he was up there and stuff. And the maid Marian, she liked Jack. She thought he was really nice and stuff like that. He was a little young for her because he was a little kid, was always out on all these adventures and stuff because he just kept doing all these crazy things. Well, Jack, he ran away from the giant. He was really nimble. He knew how to run really quick. So he'd run around and stuff like that. Well, he had to escape. And he was running from the thing, and a lot of people think that he climbed back down the beanstalk. he didn't actually climb down the beanstalk. He grabbed a hold of that goose that laid the golden eggs, but and he grabbed a hold of its feet and jumped off the edge of the cloud, and the goose opened up his wing and he went parasailing.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it was like a little parachute, and the duck would just it was a goose would flap its arms, and it just flapped its arms to slow down his fall. And
your wife's sleepy.
I know, that's why these are good night stories. They're designed to put you to sleep. And so he was falling down, and the goose was flapping his arms and slowed him down, and he was kind of losing his grip, and the goose was getting really tired and stuff, and he was going to hit the ground too fast, but he didn't, because what did he land on?
I don't
know. I don't know what he landed on. He had to have landed. He landed on the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. He did. He probably landed and it went squish in the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and then he popped back out, and then he used it like a trampoline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was fine. He landed on the ground. He was fine. But then he heard the little giant ogre person, the Goliath giant person, was coming down, and he's like, "Oh no!" And so he ran to his house, and he got his axe. I think it might have been the same axe that Abraham Lincoln used to cut down his cherry tree.
Oh my! Really?
Yeah, it probably was. Because it was sharp, and Abraham Lincoln knew how to. He was really. I heard Abraham Lincoln was sharp, and it wasn't. He had a sharp axe because he was good at cutting down cherry trees. Because he cut down a cherry tree with it. Cherry tree wood is kind of hard. Oh, your alarm's going off. It's time to wake up.
I'm so sleepy.
Oh, well, turn your alarm off. I'm going to tell your good night story. Yeah, we don't need alarms. Okay, so he went and grabbed his axe and he started cutting these magic vines. Well, you know what? The magic vines were really because they grew so fast. They weren't made of really hardwood, because stuff that grows fast is really kind of weak. And so his axe just slid right through it really fast. And this great big huge giant thing, it fell down and it went crashing to the ground, and it made this big long crater hole. And we call it the Grand Canyon now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you look in the bottom of it, sometimes you can still see pieces where the imprints of that great big vine thing that came down, and it has little branches that come out of it because that's where the leaves were and stuff like that. But some people think the water eroded the Grand Canyon. Didn't it? Was from this magic vine. It was from the beans. The beanstalk, it didn't have. He killed it so fast it didn't have time to make more beans. Otherwise, he could have planted more things. But anyway, so he took this goose, and the goose would lay some golden eggs, and he, I don't know what he did with the eggs. I think his mom tried to cook them for breakfast. It didn't work out so well because they were too hard. She probably didn't throw them out the window. She might have thrown one out. She might have thrown a couple out. People found them and they thought they were gold nuggets, but they were actually gold eggs. I didn't think about that. Anyway, and so, but he'd go to the store. He'd go to the. Oh, he had these really.
You're so creative.
No, but he had these smart piggies, and he would give a golden egg to the piggy and send it to the market.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some of the pigs would just stay home.
A golden piggy?
No, he would give the egg to the piggy, and the piggy would go to the market and sell it.
Oh yeah.
Some of the piggies would stay home. Some of the piggies would just
go sit there and eat roast beef.
They did. Well, the pig would like. Oh my goodness! If they ate roast beef, I think it was Bessie the cow.
You're right.
He probably ate the. They should. If he bought the cow back, and they ate it. Oh. That had to have been a different cow because Bessie had to go to Chicago and kick over the lantern and burn down half of Chicago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They must have had a different cow.
Maybe.
Oh, I know what it was. When Bessie got scared and by the snake and jumped over the moon, and there was a hippie cow there, and he says, "Have a cow, man." And so she did. So there was another cow.
Oh, dear.
That's probably what it was.
Probably.
Probably what it was. Okay. Should you get asleep now?
I'm almost asleep.
Okay, well, I'll stop telling the story now. Then you can go to sleep. And if you're still awake, and the people who are watching this video, if you're still awake, you can just rewind it and play it back because there's a lot more of this story, because there's a whole bunch more pieces in it. Because that maid Marian, I think she jumped out of the cloud somehow, and she might have had another goose or something that she jumped down with. Because after the guy thing, and she came down, and she ended up in a forest somewhere.
A forest?
A forest. I think it was like Sherwood Forest.
Oh, yeah.
She ended up over there with a guy who.
Sherwood Hills.
I think it was the thief that traded the magic beans for it because he was always robbing and stealing it. I think his name was Hood.
Oh, I think so.
Because he might have been, he got known as the Robbing Hood.
Robbing of the Hood.
Robbing of the Hood. Yeah, he's the one that got the beans. And so that's a whole other story we could tell about.
I bet so.
Robbing the Hood. And,
yeah?
And he probably I'll bet he planted some more of those beans and grew his own beanstalk and went up to the clouds and got the maid Marian and brought her back down. That's probably what happened. Because she was up there all alone. She didn't have any. She was just. And yeah, that's probably what happened. But Robin, he probably went to Jack and stole his eggs because he would steal from rich people.
Probably so. I'm sorry, I'm sleepy.
But little Jack, he got upset and he had to go sit in the corner one time.
Did he?
Yeah, he got in trouble.
Did he eat the curds in the way?
He could have ate curds in the way in the corner, but he probably stuck in his plum, his thumb into the thing, and then he was a good boy. After that, sometimes sending your kids to the corner is a good thing. I know I probably got sent to the corner once or twice.
Oh, yeah?
When I was growing up, yeah, it didn't do me any good. Anyway, well, I'm going to end the video and I'm going to sleep because I'm tired. So that was your bedtime story for tonight.
Thank you, honey. That was awesome.
Okay, good night.
Good night.